morning. Welcome to the Ventura Center for Spiritual Living. I'm Reverend Bonnie Rose. It is a delight to see you here, whether you're here in person or to know that you're watching us on the live stream or on YouTube later on. Thank you so much for joining us at this Kindness Cathedral. And with that, I'd like to pass it over to our friend Lonnie, our board president.
Good morning, everyone.
Morning.
Feeling a little mischievousness here in the sanctuary. I don't know, it could be some people's attire, not to mention Linda.
Yes, our practitioner.
Our practitioner on pulpit today. So in that spirit, I know we're sort of on the cusp of November, which I think of Thanksgiving, well, gratitude, stuffing, gratitude, mashed potatoes. It's such a, I invite you this morning to open your heart in that deep space of goodness, graciousness, and gratitude, and just prepare yourself for a really fun time. And I'm welcoming our Facebook friends. Don't hesitate to share the link or blow up that little comments box, because it's going to be a fun morning. Welcome.
Thank you. Thanks so much, Lonnie. Great to have your input. So I'm going to welcome, it's not Easter, is it? Because Bill, the crazy bunny from the choir loft, has come alive. Here he is.
Good morning.
Good morning.
I'm Bill Hadris with the Youth and Family, and I'd like to invite all the youth to come down with me and come share the stage with me today. Come sit down here with me. Come on down. Come on, George. You can do it.
Some are reluctant to come, but that's okay too.
That's okay.
Yes.
Hey, guys.
Hey,
Go ahead,
kiddos.
have a seat with Reverend Bonnie.
Hi. Come over here. Good to see you.
Cool.
Oh, I
Maybe.
put my mask on. Smart.
So did anyone notice that it rained this past week?
Yay!
Woohoo! Wasn't that a beautiful miracle?
Yes.
You know, it feels a little chilly now. Who likes to step out into the sun and warm up when they feel chilled?
I do.
Yeah? Yeah. I hope the sun comes out today. It'll feel nice. Have you noticed all those little orange squash coming up out of the ground?
Yeah.
You guys seen any of those? What are those? They're pumpkins. Yeah? Awesome.
All right.
Those are cool. Has anyone carved one? Or will they carve one tonight? Oh. Yeah? Awesome. Do you know those came up out of the ground? It nurtured the pumpkins. All the wonderful plants, trees, flowers that we see came out of the ground. And how about the air? Who likes to breathe? Huh? Isn't it awesome to be able to feel safe and secure just by remembering to breathe? Just that simple step, taking a breath. We can't even see it. And the air is beautiful. How beautiful is it that the same God that made the rain, the sun, the earth, the plants, the air, thought the world needed one of you? Isn't that beautiful? Today is Halloween, a day you can dress up and pretend to be whatever you want. Some of you think I'm the Easter Bunny, but really, I'm the Vampire Bunny.
All right.
Did you know? Anyway. But I'd also like to tell you a secret. If you believe in yourself, you can be and accomplish whatever you want every day, not just today. So I invite you to close your eyes, take a breath, and repeat after me. I am a beautiful expression of God.
I am a beautiful expression of God.
And so it is.
And so it is.
Thank you.
Thank you. Just settling deeper into the true self, into the self that is always with us. The oneness, the wholeness, the infinite nature of the cosmos, all embedded in each of us, in us as a community and us as the world. We anchor into this sacred knowing and allow it to breathe through us as we go deeper and listen to the words of our sacred reading.
From a Richard Rohr daily meditation, in honor of the original goodness of our bodies, we invite you to spend time with this blessing by Jan Richardson, a writer, poet, artist, and ordained minister in the United Methodist Church. Blessing the body. This blessing takes one look at you, and all it can say is holy. Holy hands, holy face, holy feet, holy everything in between. Holy even in pain, holy even when weary. In brokenness, holy. In shame, holy still. Holy in delight, holy in distress. Holy when being born, holy when we lay it down at the hour of our death. So, friend, open your eyes, holy eyes, by the way. For one moment, see what this blessing sees, this blessing that knows how you have been formed and knit together in wonder and in love. Welcome this blessing that folds its hands in prayer when it meets you. Receive this blessing that wants to kneel in reverence before you. You, who are temple, sanctuary, home for God in this world. Amen.
Amen. Thank you. Let us collectively anchor in the holiness of our being. In the holiness of our being through our body, through our hearts, through our minds, through our spirits, knowing that it's all one, all the same energy, the same light, the same love, that is the light and the love that creates, manifests the entire cosmos. It is the light of happiness, the light of joy, the light of peace. It is who we are. And as we know this for ourselves, we know this for others as well. We know that this holiness, this wholeness, goes by a sacred name, which is the name I Am. And so in just a moment, we'll sing a song, we'll sing a chant called I Am Remembering Who I Am, which is a turning inward, a turning of attention to the I Am presence that lives and moves and has its perfect being through us and through all beings everywhere, through the entire cosmos. And so we sing together with our masks gently over our mouths and noses. We sing together, I am remembering who I am, in honor, in respect, and in remembrance of this beautiful essence that we are, not only for ourselves, but to bless all beings everywhere. Together we sing, I am remembering.
Remembering
breathing into this sacred remembrance. We bring it into our open-eyed state as we breathe in deeply. And then exhale, gently opening our eyes in love and in service to what is, as it is, and so it is.
I will to love this beloved I am that I am with all my heart, with all my soul, with all my mind, and with all my strength. My soul sings out to you, my love. My soul sings out to you. My soul sings out to you, my love. My soul sings out to you. You are my love. You are my strength. You carry me on your wings. You are in me. You know my heart. And my soul sings out to you. My soul sings out to you, my love. My soul sings out to you. My soul sings out to you, my love. My soul sings out to you. Your constant blessings flow to me like a mighty river to my heart. You are my life. You set me free. And I will love you forever and ever and ever and ever. My soul sings out to you, my love. My soul sings out to you. My soul sings out to you, my love. My soul sings out to you. You want to sing with us? Forever and ever, my soul sings out to you, my love. My soul sings out to you. sings out to you, my love. My soul sings out to you forever and ever. To you, my love, my soul sings out to you.
Thank you so much, Jennifer. You know that our band is called Chris Kimbler and the Cats, and we've had several cats just because of COVID or whatever, or moving away, that have not been able to attend. But we do have one cat here, David Parlato, and and I think today we have an honorary cat, Michael, who is yeah, it's Jennifer's husband. So thank you, Chris Kimbler and the Cats together again. Very happy. So I'm going to start by telling a story. This is from the work of Robert Holden, who is an author, a Hay House author, who is pretty well known. Unfortunately, I can't remember the name of the book this is from, but I always remember this story because it touched me so deeply. And this is a story about Robert when he was working one summer as a counselor at a camp for children who were blind. And so he was doing a class on self-esteem because that's the type of thing that he writes about. He was doing this class on self-esteem for blind teenagers. And he said that the class was going great, that there were lots of joking, lots of goofing around, many, many, many jokes, he said, at his expense for the most part. And these kids were just having a wonderful time, except for this one kid who didn't seem distressed, but he was sitting off to the side, and he was smiling and nodding and looked fairly okay. But after the class was over, he stayed until the very end. And then he approached Robert, the teacher, and he said, "My name is Peter, and I was wondering if we could go for a walk because I want to talk to you about something." And so Robert said, "Of course." So they went for a walk. They made small talk for a while. And then ultimately Peter said, "Here's the question I have for you. I've been afraid to ask anybody, but I feel like I can trust you." And he asked, "Is there anything wrong with me?" And Robert said, what are you talking about? I don't understand." And Peter said, "Well, I'm blind, and I've never been able to look at myself in the mirror, and I just wondered, is there anything wrong with me? Am I beautiful?" And Robert said, "Oh my goodness, yes, of course, there's nothing wrong with you, and you are so beautiful." And Peter said, "Really?" And Robert said, yes, absolutely, of course." And then Peter said, but how about my breath? I had pizza for lunch." And and Robert said, "I love garlic." Isn't it interesting that even though we may not be physically blind, that we tend to bias towards thinking that there's something wrong with us, that there is some fundamental flaw, that there's some handbook that everybody else in the world has read and they know how to be, but maybe we don't, right? Or else we project that flawedness out onto others and think that there's something wrong with others. What if, like Robert Holden said, there is nothing wrong with us at a deep and a fundamental level? I can understand why we feel that way. You know, certainly we're raised in families. I know in my family, as the youngest of 4 girls, there was this constant, I don't know, it feels like it should be an Olympic sport, constant like pileup of trying to get to the top of girls who was getting the most attention, right? Anybody else experience that in your family? Trying to get the most attention? I love you, Kenny. My mic keeps popping. I don't know why. It's probably not your fault. Okay. So there's that. And then, you know, there's achievement, and there's accomplishment, and there's work, and there's to-do lists of how to self-improve ourselves or one another, how to other improve. Religion, I'm sorry to say, has not played a fantastic role in affirming our own innate perfection. our own divine perfection. I was reading again the other day about, I don't know the exact quote, but somebody who said that humanity is like a pile of manure upon which the white snow of Christ lies. Now, I got to tell you, I have strong feelings about manure, and like if somebody called me a pile of manure, I'd say, oh, thank you, because because manure is awesome. It's compost. Well, is it? Yeah, it's from an herbivore. It's compost. So it's a beautiful thing. It's a part of the whole cycle of life. But yeah, that pile of manure business goes into other things, and just that attitude that there's something flawed with us because of who we are or who we love or what color we are or what have you or any of that stuff. Pardon me, just a moment. I could do a little wardrobe adjustment here. That was my microphone, just in case you're wondering. Okay. I think I just hurt myself doing that. Anyway, I'm going with Heisenberg. Odd segue, right? I'm going with Heisenberg, and I'm not talking about Breaking Bad for those of you who watched that show. I'm going with the physicist Heisenberg, who said, and I'm going to read this quote so I get it right, because I have a habit of misquoting people. Heisenberg, who is a physicist, said, "Not only is the universe stranger than we think, it is stranger than we can think." And I would say that about all of us. Not only are you more beautiful than you think, you are more beautiful than you can think. Not only are you more loved than you think, you are more loved than you can think. How does that feel? Is it possible? Is it possible? Why don't we know that all the time? Why don't we know that all the time, Dot? Why don't we know that all the time, Reverend Mark LaPons? You're a minister. Oh. The other thing, too, is the fact that we don't know it all the time. We can use that as evidence against ourselves, right? We can use that as evidence of, see, if I was more beautiful than I could think, then I would know that all the time. There must be something wrong with me because I don't know that I'm perfect all the time. You see what a catch-22 that is? That's what we do, though. It's so charming, It's what we do. And it's what, again, I talk about this every Sunday, but I have to remind myself, so you guys get to hear it, because I have to remind myself that we are using this thing that we call the binary operating system, right? The binary operating system is just the way that our brains are made, and it's important for our brains to have that binary capacity so that we can run from danger, or so that we can parallel park, or so that we can balance our checkbooks. I can't parallel park, by the way, just so you know. But but it's important for us to have that type of operating system. But what it does is that it separates things into good and not good, evil and good, flawed and flawless. When really there is something so much greater that surrounds all of those opposites and encompasses all of those opposites. And that's really much more like who the true self is. In fact, it is what and who the true self is. I'm reminded of another story. This is by Father Gregory Boyle, who some of you may know of him. He has the largest gang rehabilitation center in the country. He runs it. It's called Homeboy Industries, and he's done miraculous work with people, helping them come out of gangs and lead productive, glorious, beautiful lives. And he wrote a book recently that's called The Whole Language. And he starts the book with telling the story about his mother who was dying, who was about to make her transition. She was 92 years old and had a wonderful life. And when she got the news that she was going on hospice and was going to make her transition, she said, "I'm dying? I've never done that before." Kind of like she was about to go skydiving, right? And Father Greg said that she was excited about passing away, about dying, that it was something that she was looking forward to. He said once he was sitting by her bedside and she was in a deep sleep, and she woke up and she opened her eyes and she was like, and then she looked over and saw Father Greg and she goes, "Oh, for crying out loud, I'm still here." But shortly after that, as her health declined and as she moved closer to her time of transition, she started going into more of a coma state, but occasionally she would open up her eyes and she would see a member of her family, one of her 8 children and her countless grandchildren, and she would just look at them and say, "You're here, you're here, you're here." And then once again, Father Greg was alone with her, and she crossed over, and he wrote it like this. He said, "At exactly noon, my mother opened her eyes, lifted her head some, let out a glorious, wondrous gasp, like skydiving, and she left us. And no one in earshot of that sound would ever fear death again." And so you imagine that she crossed over to wherever over is, and the divine said, "You're here. You're here." And Father Greg's mother said, "No, you're here. You're here." That to me speaks of something greater than our flawed nature. It speaks of this essence of the cosmos, this essence of unity, this essence of wholeness that is who we really are. You know, Richard Rohr, who was one of the sources of the reading that Hugh did earlier today, he talks about, rather than original sin, you know, the original sin refers to the fall from grace, Adam and Eve, blah, 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 you're out of the garden, etc. Just like that. God kicked his foot with his festive sandals, designed by Satan, by the way, because they hurt my feet, so there's that. He refers to original sin as original blessing. And he talks about how in the creation story that we were made in the image and the likeness of God, and that God called creation good. And so that instead of depraved DNA, we have divine DNA. And it's our primary purpose in life to remember the truth of our divine DNA. So how do we remember? How do we remember when the binary activating system, the binary ego system, is so persistent and so easily moves into this place of separating right from wrong and good from bad and flawed from flawless? How do we move into that place of wholeness? I think we adopt what I would call a mystical perspective. We've been chatting about the idea of mysticism and non-duality in this center for quite a while now, for the last, 6 or so months. You know, COVID has a way of changing things up, and we've gone deeper into mysticism. And you know, I think it's very, very easy for us to be literal. But when we stop and think about the true nature of the universe, I think it's easier for us to move into this mystical mind. I was listening to a podcast, rather, by another mystic, James Finley, where he's talking about how when we hold a pebble in our hand, all of the universe is in that pebble. All of the universe is actively pouring itself into that pebble right now. And that reminded me of William Blake, who wrote that famous quote that I need to read from, because I don't know it from memory, but here it is. William Blake: "To see a world in a grain of sand and heaven in a wildflower, to hold infinity in the palm of your hand and eternity in an hour." To hold eternity in an hour, to see the world, the whole world in a grain of sand, and heaven in a wildflower, hold infinity in the palm of your hand, because it's there. It's there. And can we believe that it's there? Can we really know this and believe this and feel this and know like this truth is true? One of the techniques that mystics use to help us find Who thinks I should pick up another microphone? Okay. Kenny, is it okay if I switch to this Mamma Mia over here? Okay. How about, or this one? Okay. So now I'm going to do like share. I don't think that's a long enough leash for me. Let's see. Yeah. Okay, I'm good. How do you like my talk so far? Yeah. Wasn't that just the best part, particularly the bending over? Okay, never mind. Oh, goodness. So where was I? Okay, so we're talking about how to kind of get into mystic mind. And one of the things that Cynthia Bourgeault says is that you can spot a mystic if he or she talks in parables or koans, which are sort of like unsolvable riddles, because a koan will kind of stop your ego operating system and say, wait a minute, what does that mean? What does that mean? So I'm going to give you something to ponder, something that I don't know the answer to, but something that I think about a lot. This is why I have insomnia. But, you know, one of my favorite verses from the Bible is Psalm 42, where they talk about, as the deer longs for water, so doth my soul long for God. As the deer longs for water, so doth my soul long for God. Think of deer also as D-E-A-R. As the dear ones long for water, so doth our soul long for God. And I think about, okay, so we long for water, so that means that the cosmos created water so that we could be quenched, so that our thirst could be quenched. But wait a minute. I have to read this part because I don't know if I totally understand it. Oh, yes, what if water is alive too? What if water is alive too? I think water's alive. Don't you think water's alive? Okay, then. Spoken by a gardener and a lover of fish and a lover of water. So what if water is alive too? And what if, you know, we really are holding the world in the palm of our hand in a blade of grass? What if we are really holding infinity in a blade of grass? What if that pebble is the infinite poured into that one tiny little object? So what if water has a heart's desire too? What if water wants to give of itself? What if water wants to give of itself so that we can be quenched? And so maybe the water longs to serve too, and maybe the cosmos gave water us. Maybe the cosmos gave water beings who thirst so that water could serve. You get that? Did the cosmos make water for us? Or did the cosmos make us for water? I don't know. But you see how that kind of scrambles things a little bit? How it gives us a bigger, broader picture of reality? How it helps us think deeper, and even if we don't understand it, we can meditate that and see what we come up with. Know that God is more powerful, more creative. Know that the cosmos is more powerful, more creative, more beautiful. Know that happiness is is happier. Know that love is more loving, not only than we think, but more loving and more wonderful and more beautiful and happier than we can think. It is beyond the trappings of the dualistic mind. It is in that place of non-duality, in that place of mysticism, where we start to tap into those true mysteries, and we come up with new ways of being and perceiving in the world that lift us up, and not only lift us up, but lift up all of humanity. So in meditating on this phrase, I came up with these thoughts. Not only meditating on this phrase, but having taught 2 weeks of back-to-back classes in mysticism, which is really 16 weeks, with incredibly talented and intelligent students that caused all of us to reach deeply and think deeply. There's a line from Rumi, I think, that says that longing for the beloved is the beloved. And in many of our classes, we were talking about Jesus' idea that the kingdom of heaven is a state of consciousness where we know oneness, where we move past dualistic thinking, and when we know our oneness with all things, when we know the oneness with all beings. So what if longing for the kingdom of heaven, the actual longing, is the kingdom of heaven itself? Ernest Holmes says that the answer to prayer is prayer. So what if when we pray, we're waiting for the answer to the prayer, but what if the answer to the prayer is the fact that you just prayed? The longing to know that you are more beautiful than you think is already evidence that you are more beautiful than you think or than you can think. Your longing of spirit, of the cosmos, of happiness, is evidence of the longing of spirit, of the cosmos, of happiness, longing for you. Something in you that wants to say, you're here, you're here, you're here. Know that something greater than that is wanting to say, you're here, you're here, you're here. Oh my God, oh my God, God says God. Oh my God, God. Yeah. Oh my God, I'm so excited that you're here, and you're here. And I think what this does is that I think it gives us permission that seeking is a beautiful thing, but that seeking, in a way, is finding as well. That the act of seeking is also an acknowledgement of finding. And that we don't have to be in this endless quest of frustration of, when I finally get this, then I'll be beautiful enough. When I finally get this, then I'll be happy. When I finally get this, then I'll be enough. Then I'll be worthy. It puts us in a place of knowing that even the seeking is a form of worthiness. Even the not knowing is a form of worthiness. And that it is all more beautiful, not only than we think, but more beautiful than we can think. We stretch our minds into that knowing, into that power, and into that grace. And that's what it is. It's grace. Grace beyond our knowing. Grace beyond our capacity to know, but something greater than our capacity to know is always active and always thriving and always alive in each of us. Now, this is all well and good in theory. But chances are, if we're hearing this, we want to do something with it, right? We want to get it. We want to do it right. I know I do. I want more joy. I want more love. I want more happiness. I want to be a blessing to the world. I want to bless exponentially. I want more abundance and peace, not only for me, but for all beings. So how do we live this truth? How do we live like this truth is true? I have a list. I think the first thing is what I just said, is to play with that parable about the deer and the water and the deer and the thirst and the quenching and all of that stuff, and recognize that there is something greater than us. There is a system, an intertwining of everything that is so far beyond what we know, and we just have to surrender to it. And if we don't know something, just ask spirit, divine, cosmos, happiness, love, higher power, whatever it is you want to call it, just show me. Just show me the next right thing to do, and trust that the next right thing to do is enough. The other thing, I said this just a few weeks ago, and it's so funny when I say this, because it sounds so like, oh, there's nothing you can say that's politically correct anymore. So it sounds too simple. Let's put it that way. And the other thing, the thing that I'm talking about is just to practice that I spoke of a few weeks ago of yay for me. Yay for me. Yay for me. To recognize what you do. If you empty the dishwasher, yay for me. If you empty the lint trap on your dryer, yay for me. If you make a toupee for your dog out of the lint that was in the lint trap, yay for me. If it was so much fun, you're going to get all the hairy blankets out of your car and wash them so you can make a bigger toupee for your dog. Yay for me. Now, I don't recommend this for everyone. You may not even have dog hair in your house. If not, come talk to me after church. We have plenty. But whatever it is that you do, just yay for me, without a sense of ego. Actually, it's one of those things that I talk about a lot. When we start to get really in touch with the glory and the grace of who we are, there is this great feeling of this paradox of humility and exaltation. in that we feel humble that we get to experience all of this stuff, but also exalted that we get to experience all of this stuff. Who am I to get to experience all of this stuff? The humility and the exalted are intertwined like the thirsting and the quenching of thirst. One of those divine mysteries. The other way that I think we can help ourselves stay on this path of mystical knowing versus binary knowing is, first of all, to not put ourselves down for having binary knowing, because that is defeating the purpose. But to be part of a community, whether it's friends or a center like this or a reading group or anything that mirrors mystical knowing back to you. I have this great quote from Rumi. And this is Rumi speaking to God or Allah or whatever name you want to give God. Rumi wrote, "You have no idea how hard I've looked for a gift to bring you, Spirit. Nothing seemed right. What's the point of bringing gold to the gold mine or water to the ocean? Everything I came up with was like taking spices to the Orient. It's no good giving my heart and my soul because you already have these. So I've brought you a mirror. Look at yourself and remember me." It's actually God talking to Rumi. I got that part wrong. I don't know what made me say that, but let me read it again, recognizing that this is God, Allah, talking to Rumi. "You have no idea," said God, "how hard I've looked for a gift to bring to you. Nothing seemed right. What's the point of bringing gold to the gold mine or water to the ocean? Everything I came up with was like taking spices to the Orient because you're so beautiful. How could I make you more beautiful? It's no good giving my heart and my soul, divine beloved human, because you already have these. So I've brought you a mirror, your entire life, your community, your being. Look at yourself and remember me." Can we mirror the divine for one another? Can we amplify the appreciation of one another? Can we amplify the good in one another? Can we amplify the mystic in one another? Can we amplify the wholeness in one another simply through our gazing into each other's eyes, simply through our actions, simply through a handshake, simply through a hug, simply through an act of kindness? I believe that we can, and that we can start right now. Please repeat after me. Divine Beloved, help me to remember the truth about myself, no matter how beautiful it is. And so it is. Thank you. And so we open our hearts to be in that spaciousness of the Divine Beloved, in the path of joy, of happiness, of love, of trust, of truth, of grace. Whatever it is we choose to call it, we know it as good and very good. We know it as wholeness, inclusive of everything, perfection, also inclusive of everything. And we know that it is that energy which breathes our bodies and beats our hearts and circulates the blood and the oxygen in the air through all of us, through our individual bodies, through our collective bodies, and it circulates through the universe as well. There is only God. There is nothing but God. All there is God, and we are part of that energy, part of that omnipresence, and part of that grace that is. And so knowing from this place of grace, from this place of connection, I know that this is truly who I am. And when I say I am, I speak on behalf of all of us, that we are the very life and the power and the presence of this living one. And so together we realize a greater vision of reality. We recognize that there is a spaciousness and a beauty and a love and a happiness that is not only greater than we think, it is greater than we can think. And so we do the work of expanding our thinking, of expanding our knowing, of opening our hearts to be that place where this expanded grace shows up. We surrender, we let go. We release old ideas, old notions of who we think we are, and just allow the love of grace and Spirit to wash over us and fill us from the inside out to help us remember the beauty and the power and the love of ourselves and all things. Yes, we are humble, and yes, we are exalted, and yes, we are more beautiful, more loved, more grace-filled than we can think. And so I'm grateful, so grateful for all of the transformation I know that is occurring here in this spiritual center. Grateful also for knowing that the work that we do here has an impact on the world, that there are no small acts in spirit, so that the work that we do here to transform our souls, to relax into more of who we are, that it blesses our families, it blesses our schoolrooms, our teachers, our students, it blesses our workplaces, it blesses the strangers that we meet on the street. It blesses our perception of all things that are happening on the world. And as we gather together in this uplifted, grace-filled perception, the world begins to shift and change, and we start to see it as the glorious cosmos that it is. And so I'm just so very grateful. Grateful for this teaching, grateful for every single person here today, both in person and online, grateful for the people that will see this in future broadcasts, grateful for the teaching and for the transformation, grateful for all paths to God, churches, synagogues, temples, mosques, ashrams, all of them, all paths, atheists, fundamentalists, agnostics, every being blessed in their own way. And with a heart that is so filled with love and so filled with gratitude, I say, thank you, Spirit, thank you, love, and I release these words into the divine mystery. And together we say, and so it is. Thank you.
You deserve a yay for Bonnie.
Thank you. Thank you. Appreciate that.
Well, you persevered through the mic
Yeah, I did.
issues.
Yeah.
I have to confess, I did close my eyes when you were swinging it around. Scared me a bit.
Yeah, those stained glass windows and whatnot. That would be embarrassing.
I was
like
thinking
if it
of your
flew
head.
off. And yeah. Yeah.
What a beautiful talk.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
You know, I've been really honored to do the offering. At first it was a little nerve-wracking, but I love this community. And Jennifer's song just really spoke to me, and I'm probably paraphrasing. My soul sings out for you. I know that when I walked through those doors, set in the very back, so I could leave just in case it got a little weird, I was longing.
Not now, though, right? That was at the beginning.
No, I moved up.
Oh, okay. Okay. Yeah, back there, that's the ejecto seat, y'all, just so you know.
Yep,
Yeah.
been there.
Right.
But my soul was longing for something, and it really was a community where we could come together and know that we were not alone, that we were not unique in that chatter in our head, and that we were perfect just the way we are. And this is our community. And so our offering is an investment in creating that for others. It's, you know, each week I talk about the blessing of those that came before us is like, you get this beautiful opportunity to invest in the future so that when that person walks in longing for something and they sit in the back, that they have a space to be. So this morning, in that spaciousness of gratitude, I invite you to place your offering over your heart and repeat after me. We trust in spirit.
We trust in spirit.
Love is a giver and receiver of all that we are.
Love is the giver and receiver of all that we are.
We offer this gift.
We offer this gift.
It is an outer expression of our inner abundance and compassion.
It is an outer expression of our inner abundance and compassion.
Our gifts bless many
Our gifts bless many
and return to us multiplied in miraculous ways,
and return to us multiplied in miraculous ways,
so that we may give again.
so that we may give again.
And so it is.
And so it is. Thank you, Lonnie.
It's always such a treat to come here. Wow. You're amazing. How do you do that? You know, I was born and raised in Africa, and when anything wonderful to celebrate, you do the joy cry. Now, I know we all have masks on. I'm wondering how we can do this with masks on and not suffocating ourselves. But there is a joy cry. I'm going to just show you how to do it, and if you're brave enough to do it with your mask on, we're going to do that as part of this song. You take your tongue and you flip it on top of the roof of your mouth as fast as you can. La 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 la. That's it. And then you just go as high as you can. La 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 la. You got it. You got it. The other thing is, you're going to join David and Michael and myself by being 4 on the floor. Okay, Michael, let's do it. Let's start with the groove so everybody knows what I'm talking about. You're going to be the drums, all right? This is all you need to do. Just tap your feet. I am unbounded. Yes, I am unlimited. Let's celebrate this. This is who we are. I am unbounded. I am unlimited. I am unbounded, I am unlimited. I am unbounded, I am unlimited. I am one with the one. I am one with the one. I am one with eternity. I am forgiven, I am pure innocence. I am forgiven, I am pure innocence. I am forgiven, I am pure innocence. I am one with the one. I am one with the one. I am one with eternity. Come on, you guys are playing the bass drum. I need to hear you. Come on. 1, 2, 3, 4. This is what we call 4 on the floor. Literally, it's called that. Between the cats. 4 on the floor. I am made perfect in amazing grace. I am made perfect in amazing grace. I am made perfect in amazing grace. I am one with the one. I am one with the one. I am one with eternity. You guys are sounding really good over here. Focused in joy, I walk in love. Focused in joy, I walk in love. Focused in joy, I walk in love. I am one with the one. I am one with the one. I am one with eternity. Oh, now it's time. We're going to do 3 joy cries at your own pace, all right? Let's celebrate who we are. We are one with the one. We just heard a whole beautiful talk about what that means. Good job. Woo, I almost felt like I was back home. Yeah. The other thing you need to do is move your shoulders. I don't know how those women do it, but they have it's on the shoulders. So I want you to sing with me just one more time. I am unbounded. I am unlimited. This is how I do it when I need to really know something in my body. I have to write a song about it. And that's why I wrote this song. I am unbounded, I am unlimited. I am unbounded, I am unlimited. Yeah. I am unbounded, I am unlimited. I am one with the one. I am one with the one. I am one with eternity. I am one with the one. I am one with the one. I am one with eternity. I am one with the one. I am one with the one. I am one with eternity. You guys do a great fade ending. Thank you. Thank you.
Right. Okay. Let's turn within and we'll pray one more time. And before we pray, I just want to say thank you so much. You can tinkle while we pray, okay? I just want to say thank you so much for being here. It's just such a pleasure. You know, like Joni Mitchell said, Joni Mitchell, who's in the choir loft right there next to Kuan Yin, Joni Mitchell said, you don't know what you got till it's gone. And for many months, we didn't have a congregation in this sanctuary. And slowly, bit by bit, people are coming back, and it's starting to feel like the church that we had, but even better. And so we just continue to anchor in that process and know that it continues to unfold with perfection. Really here just to serve God in God, as God, but also to serve the God that is in humanity, not only ourselves, but the whole world. The work that we do here is important, and I'm so grateful that we're sharing this journey together. So with all of that in heart and mind and being, let us turn within, and I'll read our closing prayer. Divine Beloved, inspire us to become a mystical center of non-duality, to allow the love of God to work through us, to take action upon the call of kindness, to serve the greater good for all beings, to bring the kingdom into the garden through surrendering into boundless grace. We are yours, you are ours, all is well. And together we say, and so it is. Thank you so much, everybody. Namaste. Love and bless you all. Thank you.